How I married a ghost for 6 years and had a son for and had a son for him.
How does a dead man find love again 6 years after he has been buried? Well, fasten your seatbelt, because this might just be one of the most realistic story of a ghost. In fact, this picture you see right here is believed to be that of a woman and her husband who turned out to be a ghost. In this particular picture, the man you see happens to be a ghost at the time this picture was taken.
What the hell? How did he took a picture then?
If I'm correct, this is a picture of a ghost. So how did we get here? Well, let's begin. So Angela was said to be in her 30s, single and living alone in a town in Lafia, Nasarawa State. Although she was born and brought up in Benue State where she used to live with her parents, but due to the intense pressure for her to get married, she had to leave. All her mates were getting married. In fact, it became worse when her best friend and business partner Veronica got married. The pressure doubled, and so she knew she had to focus herself on her business.
If there's something that happens a lot in Africa, when you get older, you get that pressure from your parents and uncles and aunts, especially from the Muslim part. A lot of people pressure their kids to get kids, and okay, they're not kids anymore, but they pressure them to have a family, you know? This is kind of normal there.
Because at this point, no man was coming for her. She used to have a lot of boyfriends back then when she was in Benue State, but none of them took her serious enough to make her a wife. Her mother was not in support of her moving to Lafia to live alone and start an orange selling business. The mom told her that why don't she come to the village and farm and eventually or find a man to get married and do whatever she wanted to do in the man's house. But her father was in support of her. The father even gave her money to start up the business in Lafia. And that was what she was doing until 2011. So in February of 2011, it was said that she went from Lafia to town to get oranges for her businesses. On her way coming back, she
How many business should you have about oranges?
on her way coming back, she boarded a taxi and the driver charged her 2,600 naira, and she was pleading with the driver to take 2,000 naira, and the driver refused. That was when a man sitting in the front seat offered to complete the money for her. And so that was how she met her future husband, Joseph.
In front where? In the taxi? Is that it? So the taxi driver introduced her to the ghost?
Tiopenda. While they were in the vehicle, the two of them started exchanging pleasantries. They started talking, they introduced themselves to each other. Joseph said that he's from Taraba State and that he recently just relocated to Lafia to start a new life, and that he was a barrister practicing law. And Angela introduced herself as a businesswoman from Benue State and that she also has been living in Lafia for a while. She even offered to show him around since he was new to town. That was how they basically just connected and became friends. And subsequently, they started dating. For Angela, she has found love. This is all she's been looking for. In fact, at this point, she was not going to even compromise. She was willing to do anything to make this man happy. Hopefully, the man would marry her. Eventually, their dating life became very serious. And
normally, when we watch videos about apparitions and stuff, it's just something that appears and goes away. But she's literally talking to it like it's a normal day. Like, what about the other people? Do they see her talking to herself? Or do they see another person next to her whenever they go, like, let's say to a restaurant or something like that? What happens then? Does she pay for both meals? I don't know what's going on here.
She got pregnant, and that was when
How? Tell me how? Psychedelics, bro. Psychedelics.
Joseph asked
Father, what do you think about this?
Boobies.
I agree.
for her hand in marriage. Angela was excited. She took Joseph to Benue State.
From the point they met to the point they got married happened within a space of 6 to 7. 6-7. I apologize.
To meet her family. The mother was excited because
Bro even met the family so they can see him. That's it.
so this was more like a dream come true for the mother that her daughter is finally getting married in her 30s. Who would have thought? So while they were doing all the rites to the marriage, Joseph was said to have done everything that the people asked.
Side note, Joseph was accompanied by only 2 friends to his introduction. He had friends then. We will get into the details as we go. It's shocking. Okay.
Regarding the marriage rites.
I feel like it's the taxi driver, one of their friends.
But they refused to take the bride price because from their culture, the thief culture, they frown at men paying bride price for pregnant women. So they encourage them to go back to Lafia, and when she has given birth, they can come back to pay the bride price. And that was it. That was how they went back to Lafia. Soon afterwards, Angela and Joseph moved in together. Now, it was said that they lived in a very secluded neighborhood in a community in Lafia there. So that was where they started building a home together. And
what if the whole neighborhood are just ghosts?
Fully pregnant, and after 9 months, she gave birth to a son whom they called Joseph Jr. So obviously things was going well with.
I'm still trying to comprehend the idea of they had a kid. Is the kid a ghost then?
Angela and her husband. This is all she has always wanted. A man, a family, a business. This was a dream come true for her. However, there were signs that this man was giving to her that would have given her a heads up or given her a hint that at least maybe she wouldn't have thought that her husband was a ghost.
What powers? Go through walls.
That made her see that this man was maybe unusually different. These were the signs that Angela claimed she noticed while she was with him that would have probably given her a hint that her husband was a ghost. Now, she only realized,
like, he goes in the middle of the night to the cemetery to recharge his batteries or something.
All of these signs after the fact. While she was in the marriage, while she was with him, these things did not exactly occur to her that this man was different. One of the first signs that she noticed was that Joseph was unusually quiet. And whenever she confronted him as to why he's so quiet, Joseph always said that he was thinking about his family.
Bro, just leave him alone. He's just thinking, man. I'm quiet. Co-host is quiet. That doesn't mean shit. He's quiet. There's something to be bothered with.
Now, at the initial time when they were dating, Angela did ask him why he left Taraba State to come and relocate to Lafia. That was when Joseph revealed to
I thought I was the only one listening. You heard the dog, right? I heard the dog barking as well. Guys, 1 minute. I'm already fresh, so I need to wear a shirt. 1 minute. Now I feel more comfortable. Don't judge me for the black shirt. I like black shirts.
That the reason why he left Taraba State was because his family were killed in a communal herdsmen clash. And of course, at the time, it was said that there was a lot of herdsmen Fulani clashes in Taraba State, leading to a lot of.
Bro, what's with the dog, man? I think it's the neighbors when it's in the video.
And so when Angela asked him why he was always quiet, Joseph always gave that excuse that he was thinking about his family back in Taraba State that were killed in the crisis. And so
okay, that's a valid justification. That's a valid one. That's pretty bad what happened.
Another sign again that Angela would have picked up on was the fact that Joseph was very melancholic. Joseph was always moody and deep in his gloomy thoughts. He was always talking about death and dying, also talking about how he can't wait to join his family. When their son was 4 years old, she wanted to enroll him in school, but Joseph said no. Joseph told her that he doesn't want the child to be in school and he doesn't want the child to go to church. So these were things that were like,
I'm sorry? School and church? Why?
Odd to Angela, who was like, wait a minute, why don't you want our child to go to school when we can afford it? Angela herself is illiterate, so she did not go to school, and that was why she really wanted their son, Joseph Jr., to go to school. But when Joseph was opposed to the idea, it kind of made her confused. However, Joseph himself consoled her by telling her that he is planning to relocate them to Abuja, and when they get to Abuja, their son would attend a better school. And that was how Angela.
So Abuja is another city. Okay.
Had to.
Even though I'm an African guy, I still don't know this name, so we're learning together, okay?
Hold on to that promise, hoping that he had the better plans for their child. There was another instance when Joseph had a nightmare and told Angela that, hey, Angela, I had a dream, and in my dream, myself and our son, Joseph, died. Angela claimed that Joseph told the dream with some sort of joyous attitude. She claimed that Joseph
I'm getting pissed by the dog, bro.
told her the dream in a way that made it seem as if it was something he was looking forward to. Even the dream alone was scary enough, but she didn't think too much of it. She just like, okay, we'll pray over it. And that was how that passed. The next sign that Angela would have picked up on was the fact that Joseph did not have any friends. Now, this was something really serious. According to her, the only time she saw Joseph's friends was during their marriage introduction when they went to Benue State. She claimed that Joseph had a guy and a woman.
These guys are trolling us, man.
When they went to Benue State. She claimed that Joseph
Those are the true friends. Vulto and co-host.
had a guy and a woman accompanied him to the village because he's an orphan and he did not have any family, and so she had understood that part. But the two friends who came with him to Benue State to ask for a hand in marriage, Angela claims that she never saw those two people again all through the course of their marriage. Even when their child was born, those two people never came to show themselves. Those people never came for the child naming ceremony. Those people never came.
Didn't she notice any behaviors like bro spazzing or anything like that? I don't know, man. Did you go to church with him anytime in 4 years? Like Christmas, you have to go to church. Did you go to church with him? What's going on? If he doesn't want his kid to go to church, when did you go in 4 years?
To visit, and every once in a while she would ask him, how far are your friends? How are they doing? Are they not going to come and visit? She claimed that Joseph would pick up the phone and talk to them on the phone. And looking back at it then, she realized that maybe he wasn't even talking to anyone on the phone, but just claiming that he was talking to them just so that she can calm down with her suspicion. That is, if at all she was even having any suspicion. So it's ironic that those two friends never showed up again. It's ironic that she never heard from them or even spoke to them on the phone. It was just a little confusing to her as to how come those friends of his never came around. And he never actually did have any friends in the neighborhood. He never mingled with people in the neighborhood. He never spoke to anyone. And that leads us to the next sign that should have probably given it all away. He had a job. Joseph was a lawyer, like he claimed. Joseph claimed to be practicing law. Now, Angela recalled that all through their marriage, she was the one who left early from the house. She usually left first to work, that Joseph left around 8 while she left around 7 to open a business at her shop. So she realized that there is a chance that this man probably never went to work. But while they were in the marriage, whenever she came home, she met her husband Joseph at home. And that was when Joseph would tell her, I'm just coming back. I'm just coming back. Oh, I came here before you. Oh, I arrived.
For 4 years? For 4 years. What about bills? How much money does he have?
From what she remembered, she left home daily before him with the hopes that he leaves afterwards for work. Whenever she came back, she also believes that he too was just coming back from work. So these things never really occurred to her, but she knew she did not know his job. She never went to his office or wherever he claimed he was working at. All she knew was that he was a barrister and that he had money. He always provided. Even back at home, he was all.
Bro is a forex trader. Case closed. Case closed. Bro is a forex trader. He's investing in the oranges.
Bother him to pay up the bride price because he was taking care of the people at home. He was taking care of our people at home. So the man always had money. Apparently, it didn't occur to her to check his work. After all, he was providing for the family. But looking back at it now, she realized that maybe this man never indeed even went to work a day. She never even saw any of his co-workers. So this was basically how Angela lived with Joseph all through their marriage, even raising their child. And in as much as this man kept giving her hints, this man kept acting weird and strange, she just couldn't see through all of these things. Because in the end, he was treating her well, he was providing for the family, and she had to stay married because
she just wanted to get up in his business. She just wanted to find beef in the relationship. Why would you go that far to say that he's a ghost without any proof?
This is what she has always wanted for a long time. However, in March of 2017, everything would change. That was when she would learn the biggest secrets that her husband had been keeping from her.
Yay!
Now, how did this woman find out the truth? Well, in a moment we will get to that. But before we continue, please like this video, comment what country you're watching from, click the subscribe button if you haven't subscribed, and also turn on the bell button so whenever there is a new video, you would get notified.
Do the same for me. He's spitting facts. So you better do the same for me. I'm gonna like his video right now.
But more importantly, please let me know what country you're watching from.
Bro, why? Why? I don't want you to go to my house.
Back to the story. In March of 2017, Angela decided that, okay, now their child is 5 years old or thereabouts, she is ready to expand her business. She wanted
She's gonna open a supermarket now.
a bigger shop other than the kiosk she was renting at the time. So she approached a man by the name of Alhaji Usman. This man had a plaza where there are some shops he let to rent. And so Angela saw one of the shops and opted to rent it. She met Alhaji Usman, and Alhaji Usman told her that, see, I'm going to rent this shop to you, but you would have to provide your father or your husband or someone who is a man that can vouch for you. Alhaji Usman did not want an irresponsible woman in his shop, so he made sure that he did some kind of background check for the tenants renting his shops. So from what we know, all the other shops had been rented. So it was just this one that Angela wanted. So the man was like, okay, I'm going to keep it for you, but get your husband to come and meet me so that, you know, he can vouch for you. I want to see your husband. I want to know.
Yeah, I feel like he's the one who's gonna snitch. He's gonna be like, yo, you know what you are going to bed with, miss? A ghost!
I want to be sure that you're a responsible woman. And Angela was like, no problem, don't worry about that. Angela went home and told Joseph that, see, I found a shop and the man needs to see you so that he can let me rent the shop. So you would have to go and meet the man and tell him that you are my husband. And Joseph was like, okay, fine, no problem. I will do that, don't worry, no problem. However, Joseph never went to meet Alhaji Usman. Days were passing and it was about going over weeks now, and Angela hadn't rented the shop because Joseph hadn't gone to meet Alhaji Usman to introduce himself to him. So eventually Alhaji Usman would meet Angela again and tell Angela, see, you have to hurry up with this. Get your husband to me. I'm traveling to Abuja soon, and if I travel, you won't be able to get the shop and someone might get it before you. And Angela was like, my husband is very busy, that's why he's always going to work and all of that. And so Alhaji Usman was like, okay.
Bro is busy doing taxes, man. He's just opening up the markets. 7 o'clock, he's there.
Since he can't come to meet me, let me come and meet him.
Yeah.
I just want to be sure you're married. That's all I want. I just want.
He knows something's fishy. He knows what's going on. The bro is running from the daredevil himself. Look at his face. This man stands on business. If you see an uncle like this, oh, he stands on business, bruh.
The clarity that you have a home and you come from a irresponsible background. That is what Alhaji Usman wanted to just do with the whole meeting of her husband. And so Angela was like, fine, this is my address, come see my husband, we'll be expecting you. Except Joseph wasn't expecting him. You see, Angela would have told Joseph that this man was coming, even though I don't know how that would have affected anything. Maybe Joseph would have cancelled it and probably gone to meet him himself. But Angela went home and did not tell Joseph that Alhaji Usman was going to come and visit them. And maybe if only Alhaji Usman came to visit, that would have been preferable, that would have been better. However, Alhaji Usman had a guest. Alhaji Usman had a second person following him. He had a guy by the name of Tagba Iyotim. Now, Tagba Iyotim was said to be.
Why are the pictures so bad? So pixelated. Like, I feel like there are ghosts as well. What's going on here?
Alhaji Usman's boy, sort of. It's unclear if they were friends or business partner, but they knew each other well enough. In fact, it was said that Alhaji Usman and Tagba were the ones set to travel to Abuja together for some kind of business-ish. So Tagba and Alhaji Usman were friends. And when Alhaji Usman was going to Joseph Teopenda's house, he went with Tagba. Now, this is where things get interesting, because Tagba knew Joseph Teopenda when he was alive back in 2005. Tagba knew Joseph from his previous life. Tagba was even so close to Joseph. In fact, Joseph used to date Tagba's junior sister, or was it elder sister? Joseph.
Shit's going down. Tagba is standing on business as well. He's like, yo, weren't you my brother-in-law a couple of years ago? What's going on here, mate? Where are you? Why are you here? Why are you gay?
used to date Tagba's sister before Tagba's sister passed from cancer. So Tagba was familiar with Joseph. He knew him way back in Taraba State. They both used to stay in Taraba State. They both grew up together. Tagba knew Joseph up to his death. In fact, Tagba even attended Joseph's funeral and had pictures of the memories.
Bro even attended his funeral.
Something that Tagba knew. However, Tagba did not know where they were going to. For Tagba, he was escorting his friend Alaji to go and see a client. So when Alaji and Tagba got to Joseph's house, they knocked at the door. Angela was the one who answered. And that was when Angela was like, oh my God, I forgot to tell my husband you were coming. Anyway, just come in. And that was when Angela rushed into the room to tell Joseph that, say, we have a guest. Alaji is here to see you. So just come and see him and let him just give me the shot. As Teopenda stepped out of the room into the sitting room to see his visitors, Tagba instantly recognized him. But he wasn't so sure, because for Tagba, this is not possible. The man he knew Joseph to be back in the day was dead. He died from a car accident in 2005 and was buried. He even attended the funeral. Now seeing this...
Is that why he met the wife inside the car? I don't know, man. It's confusing.
Man in front of him looking so much like the man he knows, like the man who used to date his sister back in the day, Tagba was shook. But maybe people do look alike, maybe people resemble, but Tagba wanted to be sure. As Joseph was introducing himself to Alaji, because Joseph had not probably spotted Tagba completely.
Good. Tagba did not overreact. I was already imagining he's like, Jesus! He's like, I'm gonna breathe. It might be a ghost. I don't have any proof yet. I don't have any proof yet. We need to make sure this is real.
Maybe he was shaking hands with Alaji. That was when Tagba looked at him closely and was like...
How close was he? Like this, like... like... You're not dead, are you? You smell like cemetery.
It was now said that Joseph panicked and startled. And that was when Joseph saw Tagba in his full face, recognizing him so much. Big Joe, that was the name they used to call him back then in Taraba State. Seeing him startled, seeing Joseph startled, Tagba was very convinced that this was the guy who had died in 2005 from a motor accident and was even buried that same year.
Motor accident, is it a bike or a car? Maybe, I don't know, man. I'm just confused. I'm just watching. I want to see Tagba being like...
Angela was there and was like, wow, you know him? It was not clear how the situation played out. But when Joseph recognized Tagba yachting, it was said he excused himself to go back into the room. And Alaji was like, what's up? Did you know him? And the wife was like, wow, you know my husband? That was when Tagba was like, it's not possible. Is that your husband? How is that possible? I know that guy. I know Big Joe. He's dead. Big Joe has been dead for over 12 years now.
What's going on with the background picture now? Are they like going to his graveyard or something? I see the cameraman in the back. Hold on. Let me show you the cameraman in the back. Hold on. Ah, man. He's the cameraman in the back. Here he is. He's like this. Oh, shit.
He died in 2005. I know him very well. Tagba was so much vouching to Alaji Usman and the wife that he knows that man who had just gone back into the room. He knows the man because the man also dated his own sister. Tagba was very sure that the man he has just seen was dead. And Angela was like, that's not possible. That's my husband. We've been married for over 6 years now.
6 years?
You cannot say my husband is dead. Alaji himself was like, okay, what is happening here? What is going on here? Is this woman I want to rent my shop to? What is going on here? So that was when Angela ran back inside the room to go and confront Joseph. Only this time, when she went inside the room, she could not find Joseph. She kept looking for him. I mean, they didn't have many rooms, so did he jump through the window? Where is Joseph? She just couldn't find Joseph anymore. What was strange was that she also couldn't find Joseph Jr.
Yo, what happened to the kid? Can ghosts make apparitions appear as well? Like kids? Africa, you're very confusing. You're even confusing me now. And I'm from Africa.
Moments to realize that her husband and her son had just disappeared.
Hey.
When she realized this, it was said that Angela fainted, but Tagba and Alaji were there to resuscitate her For some reason, it was said that the word spread around and people kind of knew about the story. It's unclear how the story spread, but when it happened, a lot more people got to be aware of it. Tagba went on to explain to her that yes, Joseph's family were killed in a communal clash, but that was after Joseph had died. In fact, Joseph was the first person to die before the family even died. So he too was just as confused as to how come Joseph was there. It was unclear what happened afterwards, but it was said that Angela became consumed with fear. She couldn't even stay in that house anymore. As days passed, as the story began to spread, as people began to hear more about what had happened to her, she relocated back to Benue State to tell her family what had actually happened to her and how her husband was a ghost. Clearly, her family accepted her back. It was said she stopped selling oranges and became a food vendor for the local community there. She basically moved on with her life. There was not much she could do. Eventually, although before she eventually completely moved on, it was said that news outlets reached out to her and she kept retelling the story over and over.
I don't think I would have the courage to go to the news and tell my story. Because normally in Africa, when you have this bad omen thingy, like people start assuming that you play with witchcraft while you actually don't. That's something like legit. Like Africans overthink things. If you have anything to do with witchcraft, you're done. You're being cancelled by the African way.
Even people who had doubts had to confirm the story from people who knew her. This story was wildfire at the time. People heard of this story. People traveled from states to go and meet her just so they could see.
Bro, how annoying would that be? I came out from Wakanda to come and meet you. I don't care, bro. Leave me alone. Let me sell my oranges.
The woman who was once married to a ghost. It's unclear what happened to.
You see, that's why a woman that was married to a ghost. What's good about that?
Agba, your team, and the rest. I'm sure he probably moved on with his life after convincing her of the fact.
Like, didn't she like had suspicions about the kid as well? He's 4 years old, okay, but I don't know, it's weird. I don't know.
Her husband was dead. In fact, he did not even need to do more talking. He did not even need to defend himself anymore. The man was no more. The man has disappeared. Her 5-year-old son had also disappeared. So what other proof did Angela or did anyone need to know that this woman actually did marry a ghost? They saw she was pregnant. They saw she had a child. All of a sudden, the husband and the child has vanished. So how can anyone explain that? It was said that Angela's family took her for spiritual prayers. She was taken to church subsequently. They sought spiritual help and she was placed under intense prayers and intense delivery sessions. And I guess that was what helped her cope and what helped her move on and what helped her, get past that unusual event. It's not clear, but it was said she probably never got married again. She just started focusing on her food vending business. But personally, I can't imagine what her life must be. I can't imagine how she must have dealt with it on a daily if it ever runs into her mind. This is how the story pretty much ends. But my own biggest concern is, why did the man have to disappear with his son? If he was a ghost, was the son also a ghost? Initially, when I first told this story on my TikTok, some people were like, it's a good thing he left with the child, because if they were the ones, they would not want to have the child of the ghost. But let me know your thoughts. Do you think it made sense for the ghost of Joseph to vanish with his son, who was supposed to be human?
Why did all of this even happen? That's the first question. What was the purpose? He was already... Oh, hear me out. He said, I dreamt about me and my son dying. What if that happened? Something is not adding up here. I don't know, man. African thing. I don't know. Taxes or something. I don't know.
You think he never should have left with the child? Another thing again, do you actually still believe the story? I know the story is hard to believe. It's difficult to comprehend.
Yes, you made it up. You just wanted views.
Many people don't believe in ghosts, but the fact that this was documented, the fact that a lot of people even had to go and see this woman in person, and they even had to see every party involved, including Alhaji Usman and Mr. Pagba Iyoten. These were the people who spoke to the press to confirm the story. There were other people also, correlated the story with Angela. So this story at the time was a big deal because many people who were there, many people who witnessed it happen, many people who saw it happen or who heard it at the initial time basically spoke out and spoke about the story, which is why many people believe that this thing actually did happen.
So yeah, that's a really weird story, man. Be sure to subscribe to this channel, like the video for more content like this. I still don't know what happened here. I just know one thing. The dog is still barking. The dog is still barking in the background, man. The dog should be stopped.